Let me tell you folks a story. It's 2005, your parents get you this beautiful game for your birthday. Immediately, you're invested. You want more. You keep playing. It becomes a staple of your childhood, sparks your interest into history, and likely harms your social development as you wish nothing more than to keep playing till the crack of dawn most nights. If this sounds familiar, well done. You are a select number of people sharing in the cultural experience of Age of Empires 2, the greatest thing ever made by a human. It's a storied journey, going for the glory days of the Conquerors, the days where the Forgotten mod first hit the mod scene, the weird days of the HD edition, where for a while the game was horrifically optimized once patch 4.3 hit, and finally the definitive edition days, which really have seen a bit of a renaissance for the game. The content put out in the past 5 to 6 years has been spectacular. But it seems to me like there's a version of Age of Empires 2 that basically nobody seems to remember. Frank Paladins were busted, Byzantines were busted as hell, Bombard Towers did melee damage and destroyed everything except trebuchets and cannons. Even stuff I completely forgot about, like Scorpions being affected by blacksmith range upgrades. Some stuff, like Teuton Death Stars, gets remembered, but other things seem to have been completely forgotten about. Case in point, the Galleon torpedo sound. Shout if this sounds familiar. You're playing the AoE 2 trial. You're doing the Battle of Falkirk. William Wallace's Imperial Age army arrives. You get Woad Raiders, Cavalier but not Paladins weirdly, and 2 glorious galleon ships. Use them against the enemy and are in awe over their cool design, power, and sweet new torpedo sound effect. Those observant of you will go on to play the Age of Kings and notice heavy Scorpions get that cool sound effect as well. You later play the Conquerors, you upgrade to Galleon, and you're confused to find that for whatever reason, the ships are mute. The torpedoes make no sound whatsoever. If you're a 9-year-old kid, you might let yourself gaslight yourself into believing they never existed, but after a year or so, I launched Age of Kings again, just to play it and confirm to myself that they actually existed. Hey, they are here. I was remembering correctly. Okay, so then how does one go about fixing this crap? Well, years later, after coming back to Age of Empires 2 around the time of the Forgotten Empires mod and then the subsequent release of HD edition, I'd hoped to have seen this issue fixed. But alas, no. In fact, when looking at forums online about it, many people seem to either downplay how big a deal it is or even not know that there was a sound in the first place. It wasn't until years after the release of HD that a partial solution was even identified, involving users needing to go into the Genie editor and simply reassign the value that's missing. More information here. So, as to how this bug weeded its way into the game in the first place, some forums online have theories, but I have one of my own after finding something interesting. I noticed that when I completed the steps shown above in the HD edition solution, the war wagons, which in the HD edition made an arrow firing sound, also got the galleon sound. For those of you not in the know, Koreans were added in last minute by the developers under a lot of pressure. I'm thinking, maybe somewhere in development there, something was broken, not caught by QA, and then shipped? Apologies in advance to QA, don't want to throw any of y'all under the bus, but equally I want to get this fixed. Mr. Sandy Peterson, I know you're still around observing the community. Am I right on this? I'd be interested to know. Like, is there a old Jira ticket, or wait, Bugzilla ticket somewhere dusty, 20 years old? I mean, let me know, I'd be curious. Anyway, obviously in the definitive edition, there's a whole new fresh set of sound effects. The old ones aren't used. that's fine. But for the original sound mods, I humbly request to the creators if this 20-odd-year-old bug could get fixed. This torpedo sound would be applied to galleons, but also to heavy scorpions, and presumably, as originally intended by Ensemble Studios, war wagons. As it stands, that would be the whole list. So, to wrap this all up, devs, thank you so much for the work that you've done on the Definitive Edition over the past, 7 years now. This has restored my love to Age of Empires 2 and honestly made me feel like an 8-year-old kid again. If we could get this small bug fixed, I would be ecstatic in restoring one of the coolest sounding attacks in the game to back where it was. So, that's it. Kind of not sure what I'm going to do with this channel now after this. That was all I wanted to say. So, thanks for watching. New videos, which may or may not be about Age of Empires 2, coming soon. Bye!